In this video, I'll discuss two examples of Outstanding Scholarship folios. I'll discuss their first brief on Panel 1, and I'll talk about it in the context of the 3.3 internal standard. The criteria for the 3.3 internal standard is to systematically clarify for achieved, extend for merit, and regenerate for excellence selected ideas based on established practice. This student has clarified ideas in their concepts, extended them through the developments, and regenerated them in their final design. Here we have the concepts on the left-hand side, the three developments on the top right, and the final on the bottom right with two in-context images in the middle. I'd like to talk about how the student has clarified selected ideas from their concepts and then into their developments and into their final. If we look at our first development, we have this lovely shape here with hexagonals and this sort of flipped sort of cardboard section in the top right. These ideas are selected from this concept and that section there of that concept. So it's very clear to us where that student developed their ideas from. The middle development with the three cubes and the linear element is very obviously developed from this concept here. The final development, this one here with the figure and the square, develops a few more ideas from a bigger range of concepts than the previous two. It's taken the centralized figure of this concept, the hanging shapes of that concept, the 3D cubes and colors from this concept, and the typography treatment from that concept, and the background color from that concept. So in a way, this development extends ideas from selected four concepts. That's the kind of process you need to show in your decision making. The final design, however, ignores ideas from this development and ignores ideas from this development and really just regenerates a singular shape from that concept but in the sort of 3D form from this concept, and it's very, very similar to that development. So therefore the student has selected ideas from here, regenerated a singular idea from there for their final, and that meets the criteria sufficiently for the 3.3 and also Outstanding Scholarship. So really we see that you need to spell out all your steps, and we also need to see you selecting key ideas and leaving some ideas behind. This student has not brought forward any ideas from this concept, this one, that one, hasn't developed this pattern, etc. So they've brought some things through and really left other things behind. This example also successfully develops ideas from the concepts, developments, and regenerates for the final. If we look at the concepts on the top here, we have 5 concepts, each one very similar in terms of colour, its approach to texture, the fact that it includes a figure of some sort, and some typography. What changes each time is the typography. The treatment is vastly different in each solution. The treatment of the figure is reasonably different. Here we have medium scale, small scale, large scale, and very small scale. This one we've got some photographic elements also. For the developments, the student has really zoomed in on this concept here, where we have a black and white image with some limited yellow, and that's what they explore in their developments. So they've left behind the sort of spray paint colour, they've left behind the colour photograph, they've left behind the sort of sky image and some of these patterned elements, and they've really just focused on this kind of black and white photo with the yellow. And here we have 4 kind of versions of that, 2 using the photograph, 1 just the shape only, which is a plaster shape which comes from their logo, and another which is just sort of a skate park image there. So they've done 4 versions of that. Each time the text is vastly different, but each time the colour treatment is exactly the same. For their final, they've really just extended this development idea, and they've just regenerated a little bit this lovely kind of orange colour into it. So not a huge shift from the development, but a slight bit of regeneration there. Very clear process. They've shown their thinking very clearly, and that's why it meets the excellence criteria for the 3.3 by regenerating extending and clarifying, and also is an outstanding scholarship example. So when you're doing or planning your posters, try to think about demonstrating your thinking processes very clearly for the assessors to see.